Good morning, adventurers.
Good morning, y'all. Something crazy happened last night. We hit 100,000 subscribers.
100 grand, y'all. We always try to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying?
It's already off to a bad start. For 100,000 subs, we thought it might be fun to do a little Q&A, because that means we have quite a few of you with us, and maybe you all don't know much about us.
We were planning all these different ideas for the video, all this over-the-top stuff, but we're on an island off of the coast of Greece right now, so of the coast of Athens. So we didn't really have that much access to stuff.
We were trying to go to like different party supply stores, and we couldn't.
We had some ideas and stuff we were gonna do, but we'll save them for another time.
We have gone hard in the past.
Yeah. If you guys want to see us go real over the top, just search for our 1,000 subscriber video and enjoy.
We have been compiling questions for the last couple days, and I think we've narrowed it down. I think there's about 20 questions here. We're trying to get to as many as we could. A lot of you asked similar things. We were able to answer most of them, I'd say.
But we're gonna jump right on into this.
I'm excited.
First question, did you ever imagine you would hit 100,000 subs when you put up your first videos? Well, when we first started out, the whole thing was just an experiment. We didn't know what the heck we were doing, obviously. So we were just trying a bunch of things. We had no idea. We thought if it took us like 2 years to get 10,000 subscribers, that would be a wild success.
Oh yeah, we for sure thought that was gonna be our benchmark, like 10,000.
Yeah, and as far as things we didn't expect that, I guess certain videos, we just tried a bunch of videos and some videos kind of took off, and then since then other videos have taken off, and we really had no idea what was going to be like the style for our channel, so we had to kind of figure that out as we went along, I think.
We never planned on really being a food channel. We just wanted to go and explore the world, but food really hit, and it really resonated with you all, and we love food, so we were totally fine with that. But so that's why it's a very food heavy channel, but we still do all the fun adventure stuff, because that's what we still love, and that's one of our favorite things about traveling is just going out and experiencing the world. How far do you plan where you're going to go next, and how long does it take? How do you decide where you'll travel next, and do you have a bucket list of places, or do you just go wherever there's a cheap flight? It's a lot of things. There's cheap flights, cheap train rides, cheap transportation somewhere. Sometimes that gets us to go there.
Places we haven't been before.
Yeah, definitely if we decide we want to go to a country, like say we were visiting a neighboring country, we didn't get a pop over, we add it to our list. Sometimes that makes the decision. Sometimes we meet up with people in other countries.
Like Bali, for example, we met up with everyone there.
Bali. Sometimes we get partnerships that take us to different places. So like Royal Caribbean, we had to leave from Spain. We were originally going to go a completely separate route to get over to Europe, and then that happened, so it took us there. Do we have a bucket list? We sure do, but it's so long, so it's really hard. Basically, we just kind of pull up the map, Google Maps, and just decide, kind of say like, do you want to go here? And then we price out, we pick a couple countries, see which ones are the cheapest to get to, and that's kind of where we start. So no real method over here.
But that's what makes it so much fun, I think.
It does.
What has been the hardest thing physically, socially, and emotionally about all of your travels? Well, I think the physical part is pretty easy. Just carrying around all of our gear has been physically taxing, I would say.
Yeah, our backs hurt by the end of the day. We used to be so young and carefree, and now our backs and knees just hurt all the time. Socially, it would probably be the language barrier and knowing how to interact with the locals properly. Every culture is different. Every country pretty much has their own language, their own way of talking and interacting, and it's just hard to know, like, do you tip in this country? Do people responding a certain way? Is that rude or not? Like here in Greece, we were kind of caught off guard with how people reacted to us.
Yeah, they're very, it's like a forceful culture, a forceful way of talking. So like, we would interact with someone, we'd say, oh, can we get the salad? And they'd say, of course. And to us, like just being Americans, you'd be really caught off guard by that. But obviously, they are being perfectly nice. It's just a different way of talking, it seems.
And that's totally fine, and we get it now. But I think that sometimes socially, it's awkward to figure out how to just interact with the people.
Emotionally, I would say that the hardest part since we film everything has just been having everyone critique every little thing that we say and do now. So, for example, the way we hold a fork, different mannerisms that we have, different adjectives we use to describe things. Some people will get very triggered by that stuff.
It's weird when people get so particular and so specific with the things that they dislike about you and what you're doing.
Yeah, what did they say about your eyebrows?
Oh, this one was actually great. They said, my eyebrows are brighter than their future. Now, I mean, they're pretty bright. It's pretty badass burn.
Lots of burns like that, lots of people picking out little faults and stuff like that. But we've realized, it just comes with the territory. It took us a while to get used to that, but now it's like, I don't know, we get so much positive feedback from everybody. The negative stuff is so few and far between, but it's the stuff that it's easy for that to stick in your mind, I think.
Yeah, it is, but haters gonna hate, and what can you do? So we appreciate all you lovely people who come in and say nice things.
Are there any other cities or countries that you are hoping to visit which you haven't been to yet? There are a lot. I think South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, there's a bunch of places we haven't been to.
Russia, Greenland, yeah. Those countries are some of the top on our list, but they're also some of the hardest to get to or get into.
Yeah, so. It's just sometimes a lot of people are like, well, why haven't you gone here yet? Why haven't you gone there yet? And it's just sometimes we're like, okay, we want to go to this country that we've never been to, but then we price it out. The flights aren't cheap until like 3 months later. Or we want to meet up with people that are in Europe or something like that. And we like meeting up with people while we're traveling.
Yeah.
We still have other places. Yeah, we got
There's
time.
a whole world to see.
Yeah.
And
and you're never going to see it all anyway.
Right. When you're traveling the world, a year is not a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because you really want to spend a good amount of time in each place, country, city, wherever you are. And it just eats into your year. It goes by like that. I would like to know how you two met, and also, are kids a part of the future? If so, will your adventures continue with your kids coming along? I'll try to be quick. So we met in high school. I went to Eric's DDR party, which for those of you who don't know, it's Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, go Google that right now.
He had some sick moves, and I was like, what? Who is this cutie? And then we fell in love and got married and lived happily ever after.
So basically, my dance moves.
Your
That's
dance
how we met.
moves, sick dance moves. Kids, so we don't have any plans to have kids, although we talk about it all the time.
Because we're completely open to it, but just nothing we've decided to do.
Yeah,
so,
we're not. I don't think we're financially there or anything like that. But we've also decided that it would be really important that we keep traveling, even if we did have kids. We might have a home base, but we would never stop traveling. Kids would never keep us there.
What similarities and differences have you discovered traveling in Europe, traveling in Asia, traveling in North America? Definitely everyone seems to have intense pride in their culture and their different types of cuisine. I would also say that's one of the differences, is that every single culture has its own different types of cuisine and different types of customs that can just be drastically different, even sometimes just like one country over.
Also, bathrooms have really surprised us how different they are in every country. We had no idea that like squatty potties existed, sprayers, like bidets,
and in the UK, for example, you'll have a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times you'll have a hot and a cold water tap, which you rarely come across that in the US, so that's a bit of a shock. People don't really know how to use it. And some of them, the toilets even talk to you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Japan.
Woo!
Americans in general don't have the greatest reputation abroad as good travelers. What advice would you give to be a better traveler? Well, what we've found is that people of all walks of life and all cultures can be the annoying stereotypical tourist, not just Americans. They definitely do exist though. The best thing that you can do, I think, is just to be respectful of the other cultures, and also try not to compare all the cultures to yourself, because a lot of people will go into another culture and say, oh, it's not like that in America, or it's not like that where I'm from.
We've heard people literally tell like people at bars or cafes or something like, well, this isn't how they do it where I'm from, or do it how I'm used to.
We cringe every time we hear that, because you're not in your country, you're in their country.
Yeah, and it's fine to recognize the differences and to realize that it's interesting, and maybe
and it's
say,
fun
like,
to talk about the differences.
Yeah, or like, oh man, where I'm from, this is how we do it. But
you have to be very careful with the adjectives you use to describe other cultures. Because, for example, Americans will say, wow, that's crazy, or it's crazy that they do this, but you really mean it in a very benign sense. Lots of things are crazy to Americans.
Yeah,
it's not crazy in the literal sense of you guys are crazy.
Yeah, but some people don't understand that, and they can get offended by it. So just be very respectful, I'd say. Just acknowledge that there are differences, but probably don't exploit those and call them out and act like offended or completely caught off guard by them.
I've always wondered how you manage data storage on the road. You must be going through gigabytes daily. We go through about like 30 gigabytes or more daily, and we just carry around like a 2 terabyte hard drive, and when we run out of space, we just get another one and we keep filling them up, and then we kind of dump them back at her parents' house when we go back to Missouri.
If there's one place you could go back to right now and stay forever, where would it be? I don't think we could ever stay anywhere forever, but you know that we love us some Southwest Texas, especially around Austin. So I think if we could have a home base somewhere, that might be it, at least right now. Abroad, we really love Amsterdam, Budapest,
Yeah,
and
Budapest
Berlin.
is my favorite.
Yeah.
Berlin is great.
I don't think we could stay anywhere forever, but we could definitely spend a lot of time in all those places. What have been your most enjoyable moments on your travels and most challenging?
The most enjoyable is definitely the food, obviously, but also I would say just the epic scenery that we've been able to see in all the different places that we've gone.
Challenging would probably be adequately capturing that scenery and the cultures and the cuisine.
Yeah, in a given day, we might only show you guys like 1% of what happened that day because, you know, in a 10-minute video, there's only so much you can show off. So it's really hard to know exactly what needs to make it into the video to show the story of the culture. So big challenge for sure. How can you guys afford to travel so much? This is a question we get pretty much daily.
It's because we're so rich. We have so much money.
We're filthy rich. 100,000 subscribers, 100 grand in the bank. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how $1 per subscriber.
But truth be told, it's taken us about 3 years of doing this to even be scraping by through partnerships and YouTube money and stuff like that, like ad revenue. We do have some awesome Patreon subscribers who support us with a little bit of money, which is great. It really helps. I also still do some jobs on the side, like contract jobs, like design and development. I do it very rarely nowadays, but I still do it a little bit just to supplement a little bit of our income, just because, like we said, YouTube revenue is very flimsy. You don't know how much you're going to make most of the time, so you can't really rely on it.
Yeah, and you can't rely on partnerships either because they just come and go, and you never know when you're going to nail down the next one. What is your favorite place you have traveled to and why? This was a hard one. I don't know that we have necessarily a favorite place, but we have favorite places. Basically anything with great scenery. So Iceland we loved, Alaska we loved. Stuff like this, like here in Greece, has been amazing. Santorini in particular.
Yeah, Santorini has blown us away. Stay tuned for those videos, by the way, because we're so excited to show this place off.
So cool. Yeah. Epic cliffs, amazing water, just great views. But basically, anything with a lot of nature is really what we enjoy.
Yeah. And we love the USA, too. We love exploring our own country because there's so much amazing nature over there.
It's true.
What's your ultimate favorite dish you've had in your travels? We actually thought about this one a bit before we started filming this, but we decided that we could never really pick any one thing, but a certain type of cuisine we could probably pick. We'd probably say Asian food because we love noodles and we love like meats on skewers. And we were just in Bali and we ate a bunch of like nasi campur and a bunch of other dishes that were just delicious.
Oh, so good. Just such interesting seasonings and spices and a lot of depth to the dishes. And I love sauces, and Southeast Asia in particular has had amazing sauces.
Yeah, so much flavor in the dishes over there.
You can
it's
just
great.
Create these masterpieces of cuisine.
I'm gonna close this window back here because they decided to start the construction on one of these places.
All right, much better.
We're in a windmill right now, you guys. Stay tuned to see that on an upcoming video, but it's basically soundproof when you shut all the doors and windows, which is great.
What's worse, sheep's head or brain wraps? And he is referring to when we were in Iceland and we tried sheep's head, and then we were in Mexico and we ate a brain quesadilla. Cow brain quesadilla. And I think our answer would be both. They're both the worst. Those were the two times where like I almost threw up. I'm convinced that the sheep's head could be good, but we didn't have a good version of it.
I would try it again.
Yeah.
How do you see yourselves, as typical or atypical tourists? This is a question we've gotten a few times, and I think that ultimately I think people should just kind of travel however they want to travel. I mean, if you go to Paris, for example, and you want to see the Eiffel Tower, you're going to be one of the tourists. Anytime you want to see those really iconic things, that the kind of thing that it's like you have to see it.
Yeah.
But that means that you have to be one of the tourists to go do that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But also, if you're looking for a more local experience, or if you want to try local food or try the lesser known things, I think you should do that as well. We gravitate towards that stuff. We don't like resorts. We try to stay away from the touristy areas, although we hit them up from time to time if we're brave enough.
How did your families respond when you first told them about your idea for your traveling vlog? I think they probably either had no idea what we were talking about or thought we were crazy. I think we're kind of known in our families for like being the weirdos who just kind of come up with
stupid ideas
on a whim. And
half the time we don't follow through with them. But you guys know that. I mean, we've talked a million times about getting a bus and renovating it and driving it all over the U.S., but haven't done that yet. Although we still talk about it pretty much once a week.
Oh yeah, we still talk about it. One day I think we
might still do it. What are your long-term goals beyond this channel? That is also something we think about and talk about all the time. The answer is we don't know. We really have no idea. We talk about it a lot, but it's one of those things where we're really enjoying what we're doing right now. We like making these videos. It hasn't gotten old for us yet.
Yeah.
Our channel's been growing, so we're just enjoying what we're doing right now. So we're not trying to, we always have other ideas of things we might do in the future where we might take the channel and all kinds of stuff, but we haven't been able to say, okay, that's what we're gonna do for sure. And I'm totally fine with that. I like kind of just going with the flow and seeing where it all goes.
We probably maybe would look into getting a home base. I think that's the only thing we've kind of talked about.
We would probably happen soon, I would think.
But not like to stay in permanently, but just to have a place of our own to go back to.
So we don't have to go back and stay with our families every single time and put them out. You know, we kind of just need our own place.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's the next step in this, but
maybe.
I don't know that we would even vlog from there. It would just be in between trips.
Yeah, we'll see. We actually have no idea.
Our final question.
Woo. Final question, y'all. You made it to the end.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
All 20. What's the most important lesson you learned from this experience? Wow, that is a...
Yeah, we put this one last because that's a really good question and a really strong question.
Things that we've learned, summing them up quickly, is that the world is crazy amazing and that people are people.
Yeah, I think our friend Josh from the Way, he always says people are people everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think what that means is that it doesn't matter if you're in like a small town in Mexico or an island in Greece or a village in Cambodia, all the people that you're interacting with, they're just living their lives and they're trying to do whatever makes them happy. So when you experience that, at least for us, it's made me realize that people just really aren't that different. They think they are, but once you experience other cultures, you realize they're so similar and they're all after such similar things. It's just the cultures kind of vary and people's facial structures and the color of their skin varies. But other than that, everyone's kind of looking for the same thing.
We've had bad experiences in countries, but overall, there are always good and positive things to find about each country, about all the people there. This world is neat.
And there's still so much more for us to see.
So much more.
And we're so excited to take you guys along with us.
Yeah, this is amazing. I can't believe 100,000 of you. That's a crazy, insane number.
Honestly, we're just in shock over the whole thing because we had no idea that this was gonna happen.
No,
honestly, I mean, we're just like making videos, doing the best we can, and the fact that everyone wants to follow along and watch these videos that we're making is crazy to us.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's amazing. We love taking you guys around the world. We love showing you all the food and sites we come across.
Yeah. And I hope we've been able to encourage you guys to travel and to, even if it's just in your state or your country or whatever, but just to try experiencing new things. That's the main thing. That's our main goal with the channel anyway.
Yeah. Just have a good time. Do something you didn't think you would do. Go check out a new restaurant in town or go to a museum, you know? I don't know.
Eat a cow brain quesadilla.
Oh, maybe don't
maybe
do
don't.
that.
Maybe skip the cow brain quesadilla, but eat a regular quesadilla because those are awesome.
Yeah.
But I think we are going to leave you guys here. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. If you did, leave a comment below. And you know, leave if we didn't get to your question, leave the question below, and maybe when we make our next Q&A, we'll get to it.
Goodbye, adventurers.
We'll see you on the road.